Welcome to the Millbrook Railroad, and today we're on a visit to the Adirondack Live Steamers for their 2025 fall meet. And there are some interesting locomotives that have shown up at this meet, like this Reading GP35. You hear that stack talk? Yeah, it wouldn't be a live steam meet without some actual live steam, now would it? Now, there are some beautifully painted diesels at the Adirondack Live Steamers, like this D&H painted C420. And sitting in the yard, we see a -9 sitting next to an RS-3 in Greenwich and Johnsonville paint. Is that a Quarry Hunslet? It certainly appears to be. One of the most beautiful small steam engines ever. Now, coming around the curve is a locomotive that I know inside and out. That is a Millbrook Railroad ES2500. I'll tell you more about it the next time it comes around. Ah, there's that Quarry Hunslet again. Now, I promised to tell you a little bit more about the ES2500 earlier. Well, it's an electric switcher, 2 driving axles, and a 500-watt traction motor. It's a little workhorse. There's that Greenwich and Johnsonville RS-3 again. Yes, it's Greenwich, not Greenwich. Thank you very much. Now, this little guy is the original Fitchburg Northern, built by Tom Rhodes and featured in Live Steam magazine and has many copies of it. This is the original. Now, here is the ES2500 again, and if you want to know more about this little critter, go to millbrookrailroad.com. Maybe I can build you one. Remember that red Katy-9 that was sitting in the yard next to the Greenwich and Johnsonville RS-3? Here it is in action. Every railroad has its spot where you can see a lot of action. This happens to be that spot for the Adirondack Live Steamers Railroad. The trains going under will soon go over this bridge. This -9 coming up here was recently sandblasted and will soon get a new paint job. Now, the guy running the Pensy switcher here is a real Pennsylvania railroad aficionado. I really admire his attention to detail. Now, you might have noticed raincoats. It recently rained before we took these shots, and as soon as the rain stopped, everybody got on their engines and started running again. Of course, the rails were still wet at this point, so the Fitchburg Northern had a little trouble going up the hill. Regular viewers will recognize this next locomotive here as a locomotive we recently did some heavy repair to. It came into the shop with burnt traction motors and some twisted pieces in the truck, so we straightened out all the twisted parts and put in new traction motors. And a new motor controller too. And here's Jared again with the ES2500 and a weight box on top. I guess that's what you get when you put lithium-ion batteries in place of the lead acids. He must have been slipping on the wet rails too. This is another one of those hot spots on the Adirondack Live Steamers Railroad. It's the Marshall Hill crossover.
Gotta send me that video.
One of my favorite things about this location is watching the signals drop as traffic approaches. This is also a good spot to catch meets between passing trains. Now, unlike a lot of railroads at 7 1/4 and 7 1/2 inch gauge, the Adirondack Live Steamers has a fully operational signal system that works on traditional track circuits, just like the real thing. Now, Marshall Hill crossover, and by extension Marshall Hill itself, was named for the late Don Marshall, who used to build live steam locomotives back in the 1980s. He was instrumental in the construction of this track. It looks like Steve's really enjoying his Dash 9. Around the bend is that G&J RS-3 again. The prototype is only a few miles from the Adirondack Live Steamers track. As for the ES2500, maybe its closest prototype would be the Baldwin Whitcomb S4300, if you squint real hard. Anyway, I digress. No matter what you use for a locomotive, it's a lot of fun riding around the track and getting the sights and sounds and the feel of it. Well, Jonathan's got a good head of steam going on that Hudson. Safety's popping as she drifts down the hill past Twilight Park. Okay, I admit I picked on the ES2500 a lot on this video, but you know, I built it, I'm not offended. But I think he needs to lubricate the chain. I guess the point of this whole video is just to show you some of the things you can see at a live steam meet, whether it's steam or not. I mean, I like going to these things anyway, just to talk to people and enjoy their company and see what they're doing, see what their projects are. I mean, that Hudson, I've never seen that run before. So, that's new. And even with the rain over the weekend, it's like they say, a bad day of fishing is better than a good day at work. And I'd say this was a good day of fishing. We caught a lot of trains today, even though they were only 1/8 the size of the real thing.
Now you're going up the main. I think it's a real jig here.
Of course, it's always nice to see that little Fitchburg Northern. Now, I've long believed that private tracks are really the future of the backyard railroading hobby. But these old clubs, they still have a very valuable place in the hobby, and they always will, in my mind. It's one of my favorite things to do, is to go to a live steam meet. Even if there isn't any steam running, just to see what other people are doing, what are their projects, talk to them, talk about projects, or just visit. It's the camaraderie side of the hobby, and every hobby needs it. Thank you very much for coming out on the road with me today. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button, share it with your friends, or subscribe if you think we deserve it. And we'll If you'd like to support the channel in a more substantial way, you can always join us over on Patreon, where paid members get early access and exclusive content. Enjoy the rest of your day.